Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnana Timirandhasya, Jnana Janashalakaya, Chakshirun Militam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. We'll begin with a short meditation. Kindly sit straight and make sure your vertebral column, your spinal column is erect. Slowly close your eyes. Try to focus your awareness on your breathing normally, but with full awareness of every inhalation and exhalation that occurs through your body. Also, as you watch your breath, feel the relaxation that occurs naturally. Now we'll chant Om 3 times. As we chant Om, imagine the sound of Om to arise from your navel area. And visualize the sound traveling upwards along your spine, cleansing your body, your mind, and the atmosphere around you. Now kindly take a deep breath. Now feel the reverberations of Om in each and every part of your body. Slowly bring your awareness once again onto your breathing. And now as you breathe in, chant the mantra Ma silently along with your in-breath. And when you breathe out, chant Om. Ma is a representation of divine love, and Om of divine light. You need not visualize love and light, just feel it within you. So Ma when you breathe in, and Om when you breathe out. Slowly and slowly the reverberations of Ma and Om become more and more subtle. You can just feel the vibrations of Ma and Om instead of the physicality. And now feel your heart being filled with divine love and divine light. And your heart slowly expands and blooms like a flower that blooms from a flower bud. Feel the beauty of the flowering. Feel the love, the light. Now imagine the love and the light going out from your heart to all the beings in this world, just like the rays of the sun. And as the rays fall on each and every being, imagine they also become more loving, more peaceful, more blissful and more compassionate. And while imagining so, we'll chant the Loka Samasta prayer 9 times. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu 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 Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Dhyayamo Dhabla Vagunthanavatim Tejomayim Naishtakim Snigdha Pangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmidashri Mukhim Valsalyamritavarshinim Sumadhuram Sankirtanalapinim Shamangi Madhusakta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwarim. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambaram Sruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhadarayanam Sutrabhasha Kridau Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punaha Ishwarau Guru Rakmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Amriteshwaryaye Namaha. It has been a long time since we had the class, and I don't think I should start from the beginning, right? All of you must be remembering at least some of the things. And I'm not going to put you to shame by asking where did we stop. And so, if you remember, we stopped where Lord Krishna was going to be born. And the hymns of Brahma and all the the gods, deities, and the sages, they were praising Mahavishnu before the birth of Lord Krishna. And where was Lord Krishna born? Remember? Yeah, inside the prison. And so he was going to be born inside the prison. So, to whom? Who were his parents? Devaki and Vasudeva. So, Devaki and Vasudeva, as you know, they were in a kind of a deep slumber when this happened, as because of the Mahamaya, and so now the God is going to take birth through Devaki, and just a little bit brief before that, as you know, the seventh child was transpired into the womb of who? Rohini, yes. And so, the seventh child was who? Balaram, yes. So, Balaram was the seventh child. And now, as foretold by you remember the sound, the divine sound that came when Kamsa was taking Devaki and Vasudeva after their marriage. What was the pronunciation by, or the enunciation by the divine sound that the eighth child of Devaki will kill Kamsa. So that was the Vani, or the sound that was heard. So now the eighth child, which is Lord Krishna, has to be born. And as he's being born, as I said, Brahma, all the deities are gathering together, the sages, the Gandharvas and Devas. Don't ask me how did they get inside the prison. You can guess it, right? So, they were singing the praise. And last time when we stopped, where we stopped was when Brahma was singing the praise of Lord Vishnu. So now it's the birth of Lord Krishna, who is the avatar of Vishnu itself. And Sri Shuka said, this is what we read during, the Krishnashtami, that is during the Janmashtami, that when Lord Krishna is being born, this is where we start during Janmashtami. Now came the most auspicious and favorable time when the star Rohini was in the ascendant, And all the other stars and planets were in a very beneficent disposition. Peaceful silence reigned in all the quarters. The stars shone clear in the sky. All the villages, cowherd settlements, and mining quarries saw the dawn of a prosperous era. The rivers flowed with pellucid water. The tanks were full of lotus blossoms. The woodlands were resonant with the chirping of fluttering birds and the buzzing of bees from the trees, and creepers heavy laden with flowers. Soft blew the breeze, dust-free and fragrant, and gently glowed the fires in the sacrificial hearths of the holy. Excepting the minds of evil ones like Kamsa, the minds of all good men felt peace within. In the heavens, the kettle drums, it is known as dundubi in Sanskrit, of the celestial sounded, announcing the imminent birth of the Lord who has no birth. The Kinnaras and the Gandharvas sang, Siddhas and Charanas hymned, the Vidyadharas and the Apsaras joyously danced. The Munis, together with Devas, showered flowers with delight, and the clouds rode gently in tune with the ocean. At such a time, in the pitch darkness of midnight, Mahavishnu, the resident of the hearts of all, was born of the divinely beautiful Devaki, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon. So there is nothing more beautiful than the explanation that everything was so beautiful arranged for his birth. And you can see that even the good people, the pious people, were also feeling peaceful just because of the birth of Mahavishnu. And lotus-eyed, four-armed, sporting the conch, mace and other weapons, with a luminous Srivatsa mark on the chest, and the shining Kaustubha on the neck, wearing a yellow cloth, possessed of the majesty and grace of a heavy rain cloud, with locks gleaming with the luster of the diadem, and earrings studded with precious stones, bedecked with splendorous ornaments like bracelets, armlets, and waist girdle. Such was the luminous form of the unique child that greeted Vasudeva's vision. So now Vasudeva is looking at the child as the child was born. And he could see the marks of Mahavishnu, which is a Srivatsa mark on his chest, the Kaustubha, that is the diamond, you call pendant on his neck, and wearing a yellow cloth, possessed of the majesty and grace of the heavy rain cloud. And so he is saying that and earrings studded with precious stones. So, and ornaments like bracelets, armlets, and waist girdle. So everything was there. So if you ask this question, was the baby born like that? No, that this is Vasudeva's vision, how he came. And he could see Lord Krishna being born like that. And looking with eyes wide open with the wonder at the form of Hari, born as his child, Vasudeva, in the excitement of the festivity of Krishna's birth, mentally gifted 10,000 cows to Brahmanas. So in those days it was customary for kings and rich people that whenever there was a child was born to them in their family, they would give some gifts to the Brahmins or Brahmanas. Brahmanas means the priests. And in those days, the priests did not have any other means of earning wealth other than chanting Vedic mantras. So they used to go and chant mantras, but then this was how they were supported. The Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas and the Shudras would give wealth, money and property to the Brahmanas. So he was inside the prison, so he could not give it. If he was outside, he would have given it immediately. But inside, what did he do? He did it mentally. So just see his attitude, that he wanted to give immediately. And realizing the child to be none other than the Supreme Being, and recognizing his prowess, Vasudeva, with his intellect purified and mind free from fear, saluted and prostrated himself before him who was illumining the whole of that lying in room with his divine luster, and began to praise him as follows. So the room was filled with light. As Vasudeva started looking at the child, and he saw the beautiful form of Mahavishnu, or Lord Krishna, as we call him now. And then Vasudeva said, I have known who thou art. Thou art the Supreme Being, himself beyond Prakriti, of the nature of pure consciousness, bliss, the witness of all mentations. In the beginning, thou didst, through thy Yoga Maya, create this whole universe constituted of 3 gunas of Prakriti. And after that, thou didst enter into it, and yet entered into not, inasmuch as the process of entering produced no diminution in thy being. So here, the Vasudeva is praising the Lord as the Supreme Consciousness itself. So he is saying that I've known you as the Supreme God himself, beyond Prakriti. Prakriti is nature, and who is of the nature of Satchidananda, that is consciousness and bliss. And in the beginning, he said, you created this whole universe with Yoga Maya, that is the illusion of Maya, the illusion, constituting of 3 gunas, which is the Sattvic, Rajas and Tamas, the 3 gunas of nature. And after that, you entered into it. But you still did not enter into it, as much as the process of entering produced no less shining or less illumination in thy being. So the categories like Mahatattva, and its effects, each with its own particular efficiency, remained alone and in separation without combining, till by thy grace they were made to combine into 16 evolutes and help to produce the cosmic shell containing the universe in a seminal condition. It would seem from this that these categories produced the universe by mutual combination and then entered into it. That is not so, however, as these categories. The substantial cause of the universe never entered into their effects, but were already in them as their cause. So this is high Vedanta. Okay, so to understand this, you have to understand what is the Mahatattva. Mahatattva, Maha means the great, Tattva means the principle. So, in the Sankhya philosophy, the creation process of the universe starts when the Purusha, that is the Supreme, engages with Prakriti, that is nature. And Prakriti is the first principle of creation, which consists of, as we said, the 3 gunas, the 3 qualities, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and which are dormant until they come into contact with Prakriti. That is, into activity by Purusha. And so the results of the first evolute, or the reaction, is Mahat. Mahat means big. And Ahankara, the I-ness, is created from this Mahat. And Ahankara, the I-ness, gives rise to mind, which is Manas, and the 5 Jnanendriyas, the 5 sense capacities of knowledge, then 5 Karmendriyas, the 5 senses, 5 organs of action, and the 5 Tanmatras, the subtle elements, and 5 gross elements, the 5 Panchabhutas, they are known. So, what happens is, so this, he's saying that it remained alone and in separation without combining, until by thy grace they were made to combine into 16 evolutes. That's what I was saying, the 5, the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and the 5 gross elements plus Manas. So that is 16. And so the 5, the 5 elements are the earth, fire, water, space, and air. Okay, so these are the 5 elements, and so they came into existence. That's why I'm saying that when this Mahat, the I-ness, combined because of the grace of the Mahat, that is the big ego, in one sense we can say. And they say that is not so, however, as these categories, the substantial cause of the universe, never entered into their effects, but were already in them as their cause. So this was, as he was saying, it was already in the cause in a seed form. So he is saying that that's what he was saying earlier, that the cosmic shell containing the universe in a seminal condition. So it was in a seed form. And even so, thou art in the very nature of things already in the effect, conditions that are grasped by the senses and followed by the intellect, being the cause of all causes. But the senses and the intellect cannot grasp thee. For just as each sense can function in its field alone and not others, say tongue in the matter of taste alone, and ear in the sound alone, and not vice versa, the human faculties function only in the world of objects, but not in the subject or the spirit, where they are absolutely unreceptive. And for thee, who art the spirit, who art all and the essence of all, there is no inside and outside, as there is no boundary circumscribing thee. So here again he is describing, the supreme, you are the supreme consciousness. But when you ask this question, how do you know? That is why he is saying, you cannot know by your ordinary intellect nor by your senses. See, that's why he's saying, take the example of tongue. Tongue can do only one thing, taste. And ear can do only one thing, that is hear the sounds. But can tongue hear sounds? And can ear feel the taste? So these senses are by itself so limited. So it cannot perceive even in the material world, the ordinary sensual objects. Then how can they sense something which is beyond the senses? And even the mind, it is beyond the mind. So even if it's beyond the mind, how can you perceive something which is beyond the mind? And that too, he's saying, there is no inside and outside. Why? Because you cannot contain the supreme consciousness with space, with Akasha. Akasha is made of the Panchabhutas, that is the 5 elements. So it's even beyond the 5 elements, so how can you contain it? So he says he is an ignorant man who considers the body, mind, etc., which are not the Atman but its objects, as self-existent without the Atman. Certainly, a person who accepts such entities except as a verbal fiction, when thought of apart from the Atman, is bound to be considered ignorant. So, if you can consider the body and the mind as existing by itself without the help of Atman, he says it's only fools who will consider that. Why? Because the indwelling principle behind all these things, as they say in the Upanishads, behind all the, who is behind the tongue, who is tasting, who is hearing, who is listening, who is seeing. And if you go deeper and deeper, you might say the mind, right? The mind is the one that is listening. But beyond the mind, then what happens? Is the mind listening properly? Is the mind feeling properly? And then where did the consciousness of the mind come from? The mind has a consciousness. Without the consciousness of the mind cannot perceive any of these things. So where did the consciousness of the mind come from? So that's why he's saying you cannot say that it exists by itself. And it is said that this creation, preservation and dissolution of the universe is from thee, the one beyond the gunas of Prakriti, the one who is actionless, the one who is changeless. Though it is a contradiction in others to be all this in thee, Brahman and Lord of all, it is not so. For all this is done by thy Shakti, the Prakriti constituted of gunas, while thou art only its supporting substratum, unaffected by all the transformations of gunas. So imagine a scientist doing some experiments in a lab. And other than what he can do is, he's mixing chemicals or doing all these things. Is he involved in the reactions? He's an observer. He is a witness. So similarly, he's saying, but he is the instigator of all these experiments. So similarly, he's saying that it is you who is behind the Prakriti, behind the gunas. And it is only because of you who is supporting that, but still you are unaffected by all these things, that these things happen. And by the power of thy Maya, thou dost assume the white complexion in thy function of maintenance of this universe as Vishnu. For the creation of it, the red complexion characteristics of Rajas as Brahma, and the dark complexion of Tamas as the destruction of the universe as Shiva. So here the trinities, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. The 3 trinities are given 3 functions, right? Brahma is creator, Vishnu is sustainer, and Shiva is the destroyer. So he's saying the complexion of Brahma, which is characteristic of Rajas, is red. And the maintenance or the sustenance of the universe is Vishnu as white. And Shiva is dark complexion because he's the agent for destruction. O all-powerful one, thou the Lord of all art incarnated in my house for the protection of the world. And for this thou wilt be destroying the huge armies led by a large number of asuras who have taken the form of Kshatriya rulers. O Lord, this evil-minded Kamsa, being warned of thy forthcoming birth in our family, didst kill all the children born elder to thee. And now, when he comes to learn from his men about thy birth, he will be coming weapon in hand for thy slaughter. So he's saying, look at all these kings, Kshatriyas. They are called Kshatriyas because they belong to the Kshatriya clan. And in fact, they are not Kshatriyas. They are not actually the warriors. They are in fact asuras, that is demons who have been born into this clan. So now you have been born to kill them, but the moment Kamsa has heard about this, he will come to kill you. And they said, because of that he had heard that you will be born, and even before you were born, he has killed so many children. And he has killed thousands of children. So he's saying that the people of Kamsa will be coming soon. And now it is Devaki's, that is mother's hymn. As I said in the Bhagavatam, one of the beauties all the hymns. When you think about the hymns, it's not just praising the Lord, but you can see the beautiful principle and the deep philosophy embedded into these hymns. And Sri Shuka said, seeing her son with all signs and symbols of divinity, Devaki put on a smile in spite of her fear of Kamsa and began to praise the Lord as thus. Thou art verily Mahavishnu, the light spiritual. What philosophers describe as the first, the unmanifest, the vast, the luminous, the one beyond the gunas, the changeless, the pure being, the unmodified and the desireless. So that doesn't need any explanation. When the whole universe is reduced to its causal condition at the end of a dviparardha, when all the great elements have gone back into the original element, when by the operation of time, all that is manifest has relapsed into the unmanifested causal condition, thou, termed of the all, alone dost subsist. So she's saying, when the whole universe goes back to the causal condition meaning the seed form of creation. And at the end of a dviparartha means at the end of the four cycles of the cycle of four yugas, which is the Treta, Krita, Treta, Dwapara and Kali Yuga. After the Kali Yuga, it goes back into the seed form. And when all the great elements have gone back to its original element, that is the Mahatattva. And when by the operation of time, all that is manifest has gone into the unmanifested causal condition. Who exists? Thou, or alone does exist. O Master of Prakriti, the whole of time measured by a moment, year, etc., up to the infinitude of Dviparartha is just a winking of thy eye. And this constitutes the dynamics of this universe. I seek refuge in thee, the supreme shelter, the master of all. So she's saying, just imagine just the concept. Saying that these four cycles together. That is, it is called one of, when we talk about the time, it is Brahma's, this four cycle is supposed to be Brahma's life. And she's saying, this is only just the winking of thy eye. Just when your eyelids close and the eyelids open, for one yuga, that is, four cycles have passed. And fearing the serpent of death, man runs from sphere to sphere, but finds no haven of security anywhere. But, O primeval being, at last, by some good fortune, he comes across thy feet, and then living there in absolute surrender attains to peace. Death thereupon withdraws from him. May thou of such prowess be gracious enough to save us from who are living in dread of Kamsa, the fierce son of Ugrasena. For thou art verily the Saviour of thy servants, and may thou be pleased not to reveal this divine form, perceivable only in meditation, to unregenerate people who have only their fleshy eyesight. So she's saying, don't show the whole, your grandeur to the people who don't deserve it. You hide your divinity, and don't show it to those people who are not eligible to. And the divine form should be perceivable only in meditation. And O Madhusudana, let not that sinful Kamsa know that thou hast been born of me. The timid one that I am, anxiety for thy safety makes me afraid of Kamsa. O soul of the worlds, therefore withdraw this transcendental form, glorious with its 4 arms, sporting discus, mace and lotus and conch, that thou who bearest the whole universe within thyself at the time of thy cosmic sleep hast been born of my womb only, thy imitation of human ways to hide, thy identity, a great joke thou art playing on the world. So she's saying, don't show this form, and just try to protect yourself from Kamsa and protect us also at the same time. And because this form should be only seen by people who are deserving to see thy form. So now the Lord speaks. The Lord said, O great lady, in your previous birth, in the Swayambhu Manvantara, you were Prishni. The pious Vasudeva said was the Prajapati Sutapa. Being commanded by Brahma to engage yourself in the multiplication of the species, you controlled your senses and mind and practiced concentration on the Lord. So, he's saying this in the cycle of the 4 yugas, there are 14 Manus. So each Manu is born for one Manvantara. And so what happens is, in the previous birth, Devaki was, her name was Prishni. And Vasudeva was Prajapati Sutapa. That was the name in the previous births. So what happened was, when Brahma asked you to multiply, you practice concentrations on the Lord. And standing the severity of monsoon, wind, sun, snow, and other climatic and seasonal changes, and controlling your prana the breath, by pranayama, you practiced austerities and attained to a high degree of purity of mind. And subsisting on dry leaves and air alone, with intense desire to have your objective fulfilled, and with an absolutely peaceful mind, you carried on my adoration. For 12,000 divine years, did you thus perform formidable austerity and concentration on me. O sanctified lady, highly pleased with you, who had been meditating on me in your heart all these years with faith, devotion, and practice of austerities, I appeared before you in this very form. So you can just imagine, what happened. This, the lady whose name was Prishni at that time, when she was asked by Brahma, she started severe austerities, practicing severe austerities. And withstanding monsoon, wind, sun, snow, and all the other climatical seasonal changes, and then controlling the prana and subsisting on dry leaves and air alone. And for how many years? 12,000 divine years. So it's not even human years. Divine years. Did you thus perform formidable austerity and concentration on me? So you can just imagine. We cannot do it for 12,000 minutes. Forget years. So I don't want to go beyond that. O sanctified lady, highly pleased with you, who had been meditating me in your heart all these years with faith, devotion, and practice, I appeared before you in this very form. So you had seen this form earlier, and Lord Vishnu appeared in front of her. And the prince among boon givers that I am, I appeared before you intent on giving you the boon you wanted. On being asked to choose the boon of your liking, you wanted that you should have a son like me. And having no experience of worldly pleasures, and being without any issue, you were induced by the divine Maya not to seek liberation of me, who am competent to liberate anyone. When I left after granting your prayer for a son, you went back to worldly pleasures with the feeling that you had achieved what you wanted. As there is none in the whole universe equal to me in character, generosity, and other qualities, I myself was born as your son, known all over as Prishni Garbha. Again, it was I that was born of you both in your embodiment as Kashyapa, Prajapati, and Aditi, under the well-known name of Upendra, and also of Vamana, because of my shortness of stature. In fulfillment of my promise, I am now taking my third birth in you with that same divine form. It is to help you recognize my identity that I have revealed to you now, this divine form of mine. Otherwise, if I appeared as a mere human infant, you would not have recognized me. Thinking of me again and again as both Brahman and your son, you will rise to higher and higher stages of divine love and attain to my state. So he's saying, when she was asked for a boon, all she wanted was to have a son. Why? Because Yoga Maya, that is the divine mother of illusion, played a trick there. And instead of asking for liberation, she forced Prishni to ask this boon that the Lord should be born as her child. And so the Lord granted her wish, and then first he was born as Prishni Garbha, and then again he was born as we heard the story of Vamana, which was the sixth avatar of Vishnu, to Prajapati, Kashyap Prajapati and Aditi, which we know the story, we heard the story. And then finally, this is the third birth as Lord Krishna. So why did Lord Krishna or the Lord come in this divine form? Because he said, if he were to appear as a human infant, you would not have recognized me. And thinking me of again and again as both Brahman and your son, you will rise to higher and higher stages of divine love and attain to my state. So, in this case, we can see, when we talk about Amma, Amma appeared only in a human form. And she didn't, of course, there were some divine signs which only some people could perceive, not everybody could perceive. And she did not appear in front of Damayanti Amma and Sugunachan with conch and all the other divine forms. So it is very difficult, in one sense, to understand the divinity of that form, of any form, you can say, such incarnations. And who knows in what birth Damayanti Amma would have wished that the Lord or the divine being should be born through her. So we cannot understand. And in such cases, it's very difficult to even to understand through the mind as to what really happens. And the divinity, as we see, as we perceive, there were signs earlier, right? And many years ago, when before Amma was born, one sannyasi came and told Sugunachan, Amma's father, that there will be a great divine being born in this household. And the second was when she was born, she was not crying. She was blue in color, and they thought it was some kind of a skin condition, and they took her, tried giving her all medicines, but nothing changed. And after 6 months later, it disappeared. And as Amma started her day-to-day, her darshans, you could see that different divine beings came to visit her. And, they themselves had pronounced that Amma was none other than the Divine Mother, or sometimes Kali, right? And they used to, one of the, the Avadutas who used to come there used to go and sit on her lap, and saying that she is the Divine Mother, so I can go and sit on her lap. And the other one was when Amma was traveling from Kanyakumari back to Amritapuri. As they were passing through a particular portion, Amma said, there is Swamiji said this story, but I'm repeating again. There was an Avaduta somewhere here, and suddenly, 5 minutes later, a guy, with a stick and everything, jumped in front of their van, which they were driving at that time, and they had to stop. And then he came near Amma and started shouting, Kali, Kali, and Amma went into Kali Bhava. So, all these signs only can be perceived by gross minds like ours. We cannot see those divine forms which Amma has hidden. And Amma herself had said that during Devi Bhava or during Krishna Bhava, this happened, that she just revealed a couple of layers. And even in those days, it was so powerful. And you can just imagine if she had taken more of her layers, which means the layers that were hiding her divinity. So we can see that, perceive that that divinity within Amma, which is well hidden now, and she acts like a ordinary person, and which, in one sense, helps us to be near her, to interact with her. And you see all the kids with Amma, the children with Amma. There's a whole bunch of them sitting near Amma, and they won't go away. They will keep sitting, and Amma plays a trick with them. Some of them, in the pretext of getting a chocolate from Amma, come and stand there, and Amma would not give the chocolate for a long time. For some, she would immediately give and ask them to get lost. For some, she wouldn't give. And I was watching one guy and one girl, this tiny tots. They were only like 3 or 4. And he stood there for an hour and a half. And just near Amma, and he wouldn't go. Or similarly is the girl. The girl would come and sit and just, Even if Amma would give the chocolate, she wouldn't go. She would just take it and put it in her pocket or something and sit near her for hours together. And Amma would say that, look at it, she's not going away, she's not going away. And so you can see that, perceive that divinity, and why should all these children be attracted to Amma? That's the mystery. So, now coming back to this, Lord Krishna's or birth, we can see that one of the reason why Lord Krishna or the Lord appears, as Lord Krishna had said in Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. That is, whenever there is a decline in dharma, know that Arjuna, I will be born. So the reason to be born is that whenever there is a decline in dharma, in righteousness, the Lord will be born. And so is Amma here now. The same reason. Amma is here because of the decline of dharma, as we know, especially during this time when, the children are enamored by all these gadgets, and their mind is being, manipulated by all these different videos and all the things that they see. And people and the younger generation is under the toxicity of drugs, and they are under the influence of drugs also. And you can see that it's a right time for an incarnation to come. And so, as we see, every incarnation varies. In the case of Lord Krishna, he came to destroy the demons, right? And in those days it was righteous to have wars and to kill the Kshatriya. As a Kshatriya, it was righteous conduct to kill all those unrighteous people. So, as you know, Kamsa had put his father in prison and taken over the ruling of the kingdom, and he became the king of the kingdom, which was totally unrighteous. And so Lord Krishna was doing the right thing at that time. And not only that, he had annihilated a number of other demons who had come in the form of Kshatriyas. So imagine if Amma was going to do that today. Amma would be put inside the prison, right? And what could she cannot kill people, she cannot do all these things. So what did she do? She is just imparting love and killing everybody with her compassion, and killing our minds with her compassion. And so she's in one sense, killing means here the dissolution of the mind. And by her, just mere by her presence itself. The mind, as we know, it transforms. And not only that, it dissolves in her presence. And then the transformation occurs naturally. And so the person or the personality dies. The previous personality dies. And a new person is born. So that is the rebirth of the person. Dvija, that is being reborn. And in the presence of Amma, that's what happens. All of us are being reborn. You just look back as to how we were before we met Amma. And now, what is the difference? We are not the same. And if we were to continue our old vices and old characters, we would not have been here today, or we would not have been who we are today. But Amma has completely changed. And that's the internal revolution that she is creating. And probably, when in Kali, when the Kali comes with a sword and kills people, this may be one of the things that Kali might be doing. The sword is the sword of love. And the horse is the horse of discrimination. And she's riding the horse of discrimination, or we can say compassion, and cutting them with the sword of love, and changing each person, and thus changing the lives of thousands, and I would say millions around the world. So indeed, we are fortunate to have that presence, divine presence now in our midst, and to be alive during such a time, to see this beautiful spiritual revolution that's happening. So may it continue. May we be all instruments of Amma in her hands to accomplish her mission. Om Amriteshwari Namah. करुणा सिंधु भैरवी अमृतानंदमयी देवी
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 करुणा सिंधु भैरवी पूर्ण ब्रह्म स्वरूपिण्यै सच्चिदानन्दमूर्तये आत्मा रामाग्रगण्यायै अमृतेश्वर्यै नमो नमः
पूर्ण ब्रह्म स्वरूपिणे सच्चिदानन्दमूर्तये आत्मा रामाग्रगण्यायै अमृतेश्वर्यै नमो नमः
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अम्ब अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते
अम्ब अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अम्ब अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव
त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरि मा
त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरि मा
त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरि मा
त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरि मा
शरणागतदीनार्थ परित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यार्ति हरे देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते
शरणागतदीनार्थ परित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यार्ति हरे देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते
श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निगुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता
श्रीमाता श्रीमहारानी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अम्ब अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
करुणा सिंधु भैरवी अमृतानंदमयी
करुणा सिंधु भैरवी अमृतानंदमयी देवी
करुणा सिंधु करुणा सिंधु करुणा सिंधु भैरवी
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 गजानना हे गजानना गजानना हे गजवदना
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 वारण मदर गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना
गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना
कारुण्यालय गजानना कारणपुरुष गजानना
कारुण्यालय गजानना कारणपुरुष गजानना
गजानना हे गजानना
गजानना हे गजवदना
गजानना हे
गजानना गजानना हे गजवदना
विघ्न विनायक
प्रदास गजानना आनन्दामृतभूरिदमोद सुराधिपसेवित गजानना गजानना हे गजानना गजानना हे गजवदना
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 कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं बालकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण
बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण
बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण
बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण
बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण
बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं
बालकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं
देवकी तनयं यशोदबालं
देवकी तनयं यशोदबालं
देवकी तनयं यशोदबालं
देवकी तनयं यशोदबालं
राधा विलोलं मानसचोरं
मायाविलोलं मानसचोरं
राधा विलोलं मानसचोरं
मायाविलोलं
जगद्गुरुं वेदान्तसारं गीतोपदेशं वेदान्तसारं गीतोपदेशं 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 पूर्णावतारं कृष्णगोपालं पूर्णावतारं कृष्णगोपालं साधु संरक्षणं राधे गोपालं साधु संरक्षणं राधे गोपालं बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण बोलो जय 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 गोपी श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण वन्दे जगद्गुरु बालकृष्ण वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं बालकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय 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 राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल 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 जय जय गोविन्द जय जय जगद्गुरुं बालकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। माँ जगदम्बे दर्शन तेरे धन्य भाग मेरे, कृपा जो तेरी रहे सदा तो तर जाए अंधेरे।
माँ जगदम्बे दर्शन तेरे धन्य भाग मेरे, कृपा जो तेरी रहे सदा तो तर जाए अंधेरे।
माँ जगदम्बे दर्शन तेरे धन्य भाग मेरे, कृपा जो तेरी रहे सदा तो तर जाए अंधेरे।
जगदम्बे दर्शन तेरे धन्य भाग मेरे, कृपा जो तेरी रहे सदा तो तर जाए अंधेरे।
मुझे प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
तेरी एक झलक से मैया पुलकित हुए सभी, तेरे बिना मैं एक पल भी जी न सकूं कभी।
तेरी एक झलक से मैया पुलकित हुए सभी, तेरे बिना मैं एक पल भी जी न सकूं कभी।
मुझे प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
ये जीवन है विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे। सार मेरा तू ही मेरा प्यार, चरणों में तेरे सदा रहो, करना ये उपकार।
तू जीवन का सार मेरा, तू ही मेरा प्यार, चरणों में तेरे सदा रहो, करना ये उपकार।
मुझे प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
मुझे प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
मुझे प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
प्रेम दो जगदम्बे, भक्ति दो जगदम्बे, विश्वास देकर मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
मुझे रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
मुझे रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
मुझे रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
मुझे रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
रक्षा करो जगदम्बे,
मेरी रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
रक्षा करो जगदम्बे।
अमृतेश्वरी मङ्गलम् प्रणमदा मुक्तिप्रदे मङ्गलम् भुवनेश्वरी मङ्गलम् सुखदिना एकाश्रये सदा मुक्तिप्रदे मङ्गलम् भुवनेश्वरी मङ्गलम् सुखदिना एकाश्रये मङ्गलम् हृदयेश्वरी मङ्गलम् विदिलसत्तेजोमयी मङ्गलम् मृदुभाषिणी मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमाग्रे मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमाग्रे मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमाग्रे मङ्गलम् जननी वन्दे अमृतानन्दमयी मङ्गलहारिणी माधवभवानी अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी जनमननि सुखदायिनी माता अमृतानन्दमयी मङ्गलकारिणी वन्दे जननी अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी सकलागम निगमादिषु चरिते अमृतानन्दमयी जननी वन्दे अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी प्रेमरसामृत वर्षिणी माता अमृतानन्दमयी प्रेम भक्ति संधारिणी गिरिधार निरंतर हृदये अमृतानंदमयी परमहंस पद निलये देवी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी हे जननी जनि मरण निवारिणि अमृतानंदमयी हे सृगजन परिपालिनि जयदा अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी सुरजन पूजित जय जगदम्बा अमृतानंदमयी सहज समाधि धन्य देवी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी ओम जय जय जगज्जननी वंदे अमृतानंदमयी मंगल आरती माधव भवानी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता जय बोलो सद्गुरु माता अमृतानंदमयी देवी की असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 ओम लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि